Hello, learning partners. This is Sarah, and sending you lots of appreciation and support for wherever and whenever you are. It's very interesting how with these online asynchronous classes, we're just doing the work whenever we can. But do, as I said, make sure you're carving out the time, making the time. You need to do 24 hours per week if you're going for an A, which I hope you are. And in fact, I want to use this video to show you a little bit the weekly work log, how you do that and everything. Oh, and by the way, thank you. Jackie was the one who commented on the videos being helpful. So I appreciate that. Always give me feedback. Tell me what's helping, what's getting in the way, what questions you have. Gotta reach out. Adult learners, metacognitive learners, self-directed learners, reaching out. That's what it all takes. And again, even though we're all working at our own times, we're moving through the modules as a learning community. So I will be opening up module number 2 later tonight, and just keep it moving. There's no perfect, always progress, progress, progress. That's the goal. So let me share my screen here. Okay, here we go. Okay, my friends, so I'm there in our modules, so week number 1. By the way, I think I mentioned this the other day, but please open this up, check in, see how to reach out to Paulina and work with her. That is a great use of your work time, and it's not weak students who use tutoring, it is strong students who are effective, who reach out, who get help and support. So okay, so you've been working your way through these modules, through these assignments in module number 1. Most of them I haven't seen yet. I'm always behind too. It's always about progress for me too. I never get perfectly caught up, but just every day working at it. So one thing you will notice is that all of the assignments all have 0 points. Like, what? These aren't worth anything? No, that is not true. Everything you do counts. Everything is graded as just complete or incomplete. And everything is also open always. So if you missed something from last week, just go back and do it. I always say when you're working in the modules, start where you're at, but then, like if you're in week 2, stay current with the class, but you can always go back and finish any assignments that you need to, and you will get credit for them. The due dates on the assignments, like this one's June 9th, June 13th, June 12th, etc., those actually are not, they're just to keep you on track. I don't minus points for being late, for being, yeah, I just don't. I work only on the hours you put in. That is how you earn your grade for this class. Remember, you got to earn it. So as I've been saying all week, everything you do, write it down, keep track of it. So, when you did like the syllabus review and quiz and the student survey, and when you watched my videos on how to do T2T or Golden Line, all of that counts. Everything you do that has to do with this class counts for your total you're going for of 24 hours. I actually forgot, I haven't put up the grading work plan. I'm gonna do that after this, the grading contract and work plan, because you're gonna choose what grade you wanna earn in this course, and you will be making a contract for that. And it's all based on the amount of time you spend. So I'll go back in and put that there. I apologize for it not being there yet. We're all working hard, making progress. But so everything you've done, all of reading, T2T, the active reading guide, watching the videos, everything, commenting on each other's posts, you count it all, which is why I always say take your time, because you are getting credit by how much time you spend. So be honest about that. Don't over-report your time, but take your time, and if you read something several times, you count each time you read it. All of that counts. And the thing is, though, for everything you claim on your work log, which I'll show you in a moment, everything you claim, you have to have some kind of active learning evidence for it. And then here's the other beautiful thing. You are actually able to use other assignments that I haven't given you, other work, other learning that I haven't given you towards your 24 hours per week. or more. You can always do more than 24, by the way. And also it's also cumulative, meaning it like keeps adding together each week. So say you had a light week last week, you only got done 12 hours. Just know that this week you want to do 24 plus an extra 12 to make up for the ones from last week. You're going for a grand total by the end of, I think it's 144 for an A. We'll look at that in the work log in a moment. So if you look at that assignment, see that one has 24 points because this is the only place you get points each week is through your log where you've done all the work and you just are reporting it. So let's take a look at it. Come on inside. So I've explained the assignment here. And I put in a little sample of what I filled out. We'll take a look at, and then here's the template right there that you will fill out. You download it, do a save as, or you could download it, print it, and write on it, and then use Cam Scanner to send a PDF, whichever you like. Find a creative way to do it. So it explains it. It's worth 24 possible points. So let's look at the log and at the sample. Okay, so when you download it, it's going to look like this. And as it says, you're using it to track and report everything you've done and then what the evidence is and where the evidence is located. So I'll show you on the sample in a minute, but you just list the dates, list what you did, how long it took you, what the evidence is, and where I can find it. And then you total up this whole column. You get a total for this page at the bottom. And then the same total, at least for the first week, that same total just gets written right there. So say you had 25 hours for this page for this week, it'd be the same for your total for the semester. Each week though, this number right there is going to grow. You're going to be getting closer and closer to 144. And by the way, there are the totals there. So it's 144 hours logged with evidence for an A B is 115, a C is 101. So that's 24 hours per week for an A average, 20 for a B, 17 for a C, and you can't get less than that. You can't, no one can, yeah, you have to pass the class, you have to prove you've met the learning objectives, and you have to have at least 101 hours documented with evidence. All right, so let's take a look at the sample log. So this other one I put in is just a sample. Yours is going to reflect your actual time, but these are just kind of what it could look like. And I use some of our real examples. So, so then, like I said, I counted everything. So just say on June 8th, like, oh, I watched the welcome video and I looked at the modules, took me 30 minutes or however long it took. This one, there might not be evidence for some of them yet. If there's not evidence, you can just write this phrase, will be reflected in my assignment organization. Like I'm going to tell that you watch the welcome and know how to use the modules because you're uploading things. So sometimes you can just write that instead of saying what your evidence is. But then say, you did the collaborative community agreements, took a half hour, or however long it took you, you tell your real time. The evidence for that is, oh, I added, Sarah, I could go look at your entry and see it, and I will. This one, the grading contract, I haven't actually put that in yours, but I'm going to put that one in the assignment box in a moment after this video. But even things like, okay, I reread the syllabus, I read the assignments. That one, again, is just going to be reflected in your assignment organization. But then something like, I made my own partner video or my own welcome video and I commented on others. This is how long it took. Or, oh, I watched Sarah's Golden Line video and looked at the model. That took me an hour. Again, that will be reflected in your Golden Line post. But then like this one, oh, I actually applied, the learner, I applied T to T to brain rules. These pages took me an hour. I used Cam Scanner to upload my PDF into that assignment box. So this column, is what is the evidence? Where is the evidence located? So you kind of just work your way. You'll be listing each thing. You might take 2 pages to do this or whatever. It's totally fine. And then And again, like I wrote just right here, etc., list what you did, because you can actually list other assignments, other work learning experiences. The only rule is that it can't be an assignment for another class. You can't double dip, right? You can't say, oh, I did my math homework, no. But you could say you were taking a math book, and if you did something above and beyond with that material, you could count that. So for example, what if you said like, oh, I applied a T to T. You could do a T to T, a talk to text of your math textbook. And then that you could count because you're not actually getting credit for that in the math class. So the evidence would be, I uploaded a PDF of my T to T. Here's what it looks like. So for any evidence where it hasn't already been submitted, like if you've already submitted it, if you submitted, say, your T to T for brain rules, or your golden line post, or your anything, your intro video, your intro paragraph, anything that you've already uploaded, you don't need to re-upload it during the log. But if there's something you don't have evidence for, like say for example that math example I was saying, if you had that PDF of your math T to T, that you need to upload. So you would upload that with this log. So at the end of each week, on Sunday of each week of our 6 weeks, you will fill out this whole log and then upload any additional evidence you need to fulfill this log that proves this log. Any of the ones you've already submitted, don't resubmit them, but anything you need to use as new evidence, you submit that here. Okay, and it's a totally different system than most people probably use or are used to, so it may take you a little bit of time to adjust to it. If you have questions about it, you can reach out to each other on that discussion board, Learning Partners Helping Learning Partners. You can certainly reach out to me. You could reach out to Paulina, our tutor. She understands the system very well, and she could explain it to you. And but again, everything you do that has to do with learning, reading, writing, critical thinking, you can count on this log as long as it is not an assignment for another class. So say also you could read something else, like, oh, I was reading this novel that was not the one assigned for our class. Great. You do something active with it. For anything you count, you've got to have some active evidence. But you could use it, even it could be watching things. I watched a TED Talk. I watched an educational video. Great, take some notes about it, do a T to T, do an active reading guide, do something that shows you are actively processing, making sense of it. So, so I always say, start with the assignments that are in the module. Those are the ones that are required of everybody, but then fill in with all of your own independent choice activities. Being a student, remember, an effective student is being metacognitive, thinking about the process, directing the process, knowing what it is you need to work on. There's so many resources out there that we can use for free on the internet. If you need to work on grammar, go find some grammar resources. I have some too. You can always reach out to me and ask. But if you say wanted to work on vocabulary, find some vocab resources. Find resources that you could use for free and educate yourself and then count it. And that's how you get credit. Like I was saying, being metacognitive is knowing what it is you need to learn and then finding ways to learn that, to teach yourself. Let's see. So yeah, and again, you're going for at least 24 hours a week for an A, but like I said, if you got a little behind, just do more hours the next weeks, because we're going for a grand total of 144 for an A. Also, you could do way more. Say you had a week you did 40 hours of work. Awesome. List everything you did. How long did it take you? What's the evidence? You can count all of it. I've seen people get up to like 160 hours over the semester. Dive in. That's all extra credit. Anything you do above 24 hours per week counts as extra credit. So all right, my friends, thank you for watching, and I'll stop sharing for a moment. and I look forward to more learning with you this week. Like I said, I'm definitely a little behind on my posting and commenting and grading. So all of us just keep making progress, keep going forward, ask for help, reach out. And I'm just really honored to be here with you. Thank you so much. Okay, my friends, I'll do another video about the grading contract too. Look for that in a minute.